Good evening, everyone. My name's Tom Novak, and welcome to Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors. Today we're going to talk a little bit about soil. This will be part one. And when I first got started out in bonsai, I was watching, in my younger days, I was watching Brian Batchelder, New Horizons in Bonsai, which you cannot find on YouTube or any place that I searched. But he was on PBS, and all he used on his bonsais were unmilled sphagnum moss and nothing else. And he had fabulous trees that he did in bonsai. He compared one tree in bonsai soil with one tree in sphagnum moss. The sphagnum moss tree grew bigger, stronger, had a beautiful root base. But as you get older, hands ain't strong enough to do it. But in the spring, I'm going to do one with this so you can see how he really did it. I would use gloves if you try to do it. Those with arthritis, you can probably have one of your grandkids do it or someone else do it. But those of you that are younger, you can do it. But I use, with the sphagnum moss, I use gloves when it's wet because you can get a disease that's very, very rare. It's called sporocosis. It's a very rare disease that you can get from the sphagnum moss. That's mainly if you got cuts on your hands or whatever, but if you're going to use it, wear gloves. I've been using it for over 40 years. I never got sick, so it's relatively safe, but I think Brian worked with it every day. But you got to use gloves. And then here's the moss so you can see what it looks like. It's just long, stringy moss. And you can get it at Home Depot or any big box store that sells garden supplies. This will last you a while, but it's very good stuff. And then as I got older, I had to use something better, so I was watching the Master Bonsai person, Mr. Nigel Saunders from the Bonsai Zone. If you want to check him out, he's very good. And he uses turfus, which is a high-fired calcium clay. It's very good moisture retention. And for me to get the turfus costs a lot of money because for some reason out here in Chicago, I can't find the turfus. And if there is a turfus, it's in the suburbs, and a big bag is like, it's expensive, over 50 bucks. So what I'm using now, I found something just as good. It works good. That's why I use my rose cactus in. It's called Fluorite Dark. What you got to do is sift first. And I mix it 50% fluorite with 50% sifted perlite. And I'll just give you a small demonstration. Here's the fluorite, which is cheap. It's a 7.7 pound bag for $12.99. I'll let you see, and you can get this in any good pet shop that sells fish. If they don't have it, they can get it for you. And on the bag, it says it's all natural porous clay, and that's what you want to use. So but this you have to sift it as you do the perlite to get all the fines out of it. So I put some in a container here so you can see it. And it's just clay. Well, what you got to do is you go to the dollar store and get yourself a cheap sifter. Pour it in. Shake it. Now it's best to do it outside or downwind so you don't get too much dust. But there's hardly any fines in it, as you can, I don't know, this is hard to see. But look at that, hardly any fines. And what I do is, I'll do a fast demonstration. You take, okay, got like a quarter of a cup. Let me get a little bit more so you can see how to mix it. Okay, we got a little cup like this. pour it in my mixing container. It's just an old fruit container that they sell cut up fruit in. You can get it any place. I got this at Pete's. And then I'll take some sifted perlite. You sift the perlite just like you do when you sift the fluorite here, and you put it in your container. Put your cover on. Shake it real good. And there you have it. A perfect mixture. Now you can see it better in here, hopefully. But it's a good solid mixture. Good drainage, good moisture retention. And like I says, it's very cheap. You get a 7-pound, little 7.7 pound bag, and you just take it, sift it, mix it, and you got a good bonsai soil. And then if you want, you can add like a tablespoon of the Mycos beneficial bacteria, and it'll enhance the roots so that it'll work hand in hand with the roots to make a nice bonsai tree. And the roots are what's most important, but this is just a short video on how to do it. You can even mix it with your hands. You don't need gloves or nothing. Very easy on the hands, and it's very easy to work with. So I got my own little container full that I mixed already. This one was mixed with a fluorite, but it was a red color. So they got red or black. You can use either one, but it mixes very well, and you got a nice little bonsai mix for yourself. So I won't keep you because I know it's New Year's Eve. So what you got to do is sit with your loved one, have a nice hot cup of tea, wait for the midnight hour, listen to some of your favorite big bands like Guy Lombardo or Benny Goodman, ring in the new year. Ozzie Nelson, whoever you want to listen to, ring in the new year with them, have a nice hot cup of tea, relax with your loved one, and have a good night and a happy new year. See you next year. Thank you for coming.